Sometimes he reveals just enough to guide you in the moment, but he withholds the full picture. While there is wisdom in sharing when the time is right, there is also a deeper wisdom in knowing when not to share. God, in his infinite wisdom, does not reveal everything at once, and certainly not to everyone. Sometimes he reveals just enough to guide you in the moment, but he withholds the full picture, knowing that you are not yet ready to handle the full weight of it. This idea of guarding what God has revealed to you is not a sign of insecurity or pride, but rather a sign of responsibility. gone straight to his father, proclaiming that one day his family would bow down to him, what would have happened? The very people who were meant to support him and help him fulfill his destiny would have turned on him. They would have seen him not as a dreamer with a divine purpose, but as an arrogant young man who needed to be brought down a notch. This is exactly what happened, and Joseph ended up in a pit, far from the dream that God had shown him. The dream was real, but his timing was not. His premature sharing of the dream exposed him to unnecessary suffering, and yet God, in his grace, used that suffering to mold Joseph for his destiny. Likewise, you must understand that not everyone around you is equipped to receive the revelation that God has entrusted to you. Some people may be well-meaning, but their understanding of God's will and purpose for your life may be limited. Others may be jealous, envious, or threatened by the things you share, and they will work to undermine you. There are even those who, out of ignorance, will dismiss your dreams or vision as mere fantasy. It is not their fault, but it is your responsibility to guard your divine secrets. The Bible warns us about giving precious things to those who are unworthy of them. In Matthew 7:6, Jesus says, "Do not give dogs what is holy. Do not throw your pearls before pigs." The pearls he speaks of are the divine revelations and insights he has entrusted to you. These are not meant to be casually tossed around to anyone who asks. They are meant to be handled with care and only shared with those who can appreciate their value. Sometimes, when God gives you a revelation, it is a message for you, not for the masses. It is a guiding light that will lead you to your next step, to the place where he wants you to go. Not everything that God reveals to you is for public consumption. Some things are just between you and him, a sacred trust that requires your silence. This is a difficult thing to understand, especially in a culture that prizes openness, transparency, and instant gratification. We live in an age where everyone wants to share everything, whether it's their meals, their thoughts, or their dreams. But when it comes to God's secrets, the most important thing you can do is remain quiet and let them grow in you until the appointed time comes for them to be revealed. There is an aspect of spiritual maturity that involves learning the difference between sharing too much and sharing just enough. Wisdom tells us when to speak, when to remain silent, and when to share only with those who are equipped to handle what we carry. Too many times we open our mouths out of fear, insecurity, or the need for validation. We want people to see that we're chosen, that we have a purpose. But God doesn't need your validation. He needs your obedience. He needs you to trust his timing and to understand that some things cannot be rushed. The truth is that God will only reveal to you what you can handle. If he has given you a great vision, it is not because you have earned it, but because he knows that you are capable of carrying it with integrity. The key is in how you handle the responsibility of that revelation. The more significant the secret, the more sacred the calling, the more careful you must be with what you reveal and when you reveal it. There will come a time when the world will see what God has been doing in your life. And when that time comes, it will be undeniable. It will be like the sun breaking through the clouds, and everyone will know that God's hand has been on you. But until that time, the seed of your destiny must remain in the ground, hidden from view, growing in the silence of God's preparation. There are moments in life when you will feel the urge to share, to explain, to show others what God is doing in your life. But it's in those moments that you must resist the temptation to speak. Trust that God is working behind the scenes, even when you cannot see the fruit. Guard your secrets, protect your revelation, and wait for the appointed time. God knows when it's time to bring the hidden things to light, and when that time comes, nothing and no one will be able to stop it. Until then, rest in the knowledge that what God has revealed to you is precious, and the best thing you can do is keep it hidden, safe, and secure within your heart. In a world that is driven by instant gratification, constant communication, and the need for validation, One of the most important virtues a person can develop is the wisdom of discretion. Discretion involves making wise choices about what to say, when to say it, and to whom. It's not about withholding the truth or keeping secrets for the sake of secrecy, but rather about understanding the weight of your words and the timing of their release. The Bible speaks frequently about the power of words and how the tongue, although small, can have a tremendous impact. The book of Proverbs tells us that the tongue has the power of life and death, Proverbs 18:21. This verse speaks to the profound impact that words can have on our lives and the lives of others. When we speak prematurely, without discretion, we can easily cause harm, misunderstandings, and even delays in our purpose. God, in his infinite wisdom, has always been intentional with his words. He spoke creation into existence, but he also spoke in parables and riddles, in ways that only those who were spiritually attuned could understand. Jesus, when he was on earth, did not reveal everything to everyone. There were times when he would speak to the masses in ways that only the initiated could comprehend, and other times when he would reveal deep truths only to his disciples. He understood the power of discretion, and he used it to his advantage. Jesus didn't simply say everything that was on his mind. He spoke with purpose, with a clear understanding of who needed to hear what he had to say at that particular moment. In the same way, we must learn to use discretion in our lives. Not every thought that comes to our mind needs to be spoken out loud. Not every revelation or vision needs to be shared with others, especially when it comes to matters of divine purpose. There is a time for everything under the sun, as the book of Ecclesiastes reminds us, and knowing when to speak and when to remain silent is a crucial part of that understanding. The temptation is often to share what we know, to let others see the wisdom or the revelation we receive. What the fuck? Against you. In some cases, they may even try to sabotage your efforts or undermine your calling. God's wisdom in revealing things to us is focused not on his knowledge of who can handle those revelations. He doesn't reveal his secrets to the few.
What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them round.
When we speak without
Okay, I got stuff to do.